Last episode, we explored a hidden anchorage at the Bahamas Berry Islands. We then sailed from
Great Stirrup Key to Nassau.
Nassau was my buddy Sam's final stop. He had previously arranged to fly out from there. And now I'm back to some solo exploration.
Cheers.
All right, so we're leaving Nassau right now. We're gonna head down to Cambridge Cay. It's about 50-60 miles southeast, I guess. Heading to the Exumas. Weather looks a little sketchy, but they're not calling for super heavy winds, just some rain. Let me show you these clouds. And Robert has been helping me. He's the dock master. How you doing?
Here's the general path for the day, starting here at Nassau Harbor near Paradise Island. Then I'll head down toward the Exuma Land and Sea Park. I'll then make my way into this sheltered mooring field near Cambridge Cay, just north of Compass Cay.
All right, I'll try to give you some narration as I go. Just left the Nassau Harbor. The engine is still going, so that's why it's a little noisy. Heading down the Yellow Bank. So the Yellow Bank is kind of known as a questionable area as far as coral heads and things you got to watch out for. But the more research I did shows that you don't have to be too worried about it, especially at high tide. I'm going out at about close to high tide, so that's pretty ideal. I'm hoping to arrive in Cambridge Cay in about 10 hours. So obviously I'm going to go through a couple of tide cycles during that time. When I get there, it's again going to be close to high tide, so that'll be nice. So I'm getting close to this marker. It's kind of like a little stick in the ground up here that's going to indicate kind of the entryway to the harbor. And that's the indication. A couple of the folks at my marina, a lot of these guys will actually go and they'll take day trips down to the Exumas, take people to the island of the swimming pigs. But they have these crazy speedboats with, actually I took a quick shot of one of them. I think it was 4 outboard motors, 300 horsepower each. So they get down there quick. But he told me, he's like, you're gonna come out, you're gonna see this stick in the ground. He said once you get there is when you head more south to go to the Exumas, which you go about a 45-degree angle. And shit, actually when I turn south I'll probably be dead downwind, which is not ideal. Anyway, let me look back at the chart. Why am I going that way? Hold on. A little nervous right here because it's the weird coral head that says 4 feet on my chart. You can see on the chart tons of coral heads that look like landmines. Remember that game Minesweeper? Well, that's what it kind of feels like navigating here. Even on Google Earth, you can see the dark coral heads. Even though they look intimidating from the boat, they say these are mostly 10 to 12 feet below the surface. Definitely a little nerve-wracking when you got dark spots in the water coming up. It says 12 feet. My depth gauge says 15, 16 feet. It says I'm going 6 knots.
As I watch the Atlantis resort fade away into the distance, I'm reminded of how far I've come. It's important to look back sometimes to help us realize our nearly limitless potential. Sailing makes you alert to this. You have to be engaged with what's around you. It inspires you. It also helps you forget the normal pace of life and you create your own pace, along with the pace of nature. I suppose what I like most is the challenge of adapting at a moment's notice and creating your own route. The trip was peaceful, but it was certainly a little more nerve-wracking as the sun went down. Look at the chart. I had to go through this narrow passage here where there are several coral heads. It felt a bit like I was flying blind at night with only a little dot on my GPS, and occasionally my spotlight to see obstacles. But with a bit of luck, I made it safely into the mooring field around midnight.
So whenever you anchor at night or come into a mooring field at night, you don't really see your surroundings. So one of my favorite things in the morning is to peek my head up out of the hatch and kind of see what surprises are around. So let's check it out.
Let's check this out a little bit better. I think these people just ran over the mooring ball, and now it's in their prop. So I'm gonna see if I can call them and offer assistance. Let me show you what we got here.
I'm just gonna stick my head down in the water and see at least know what it is with a pair of goggles on.
Okay, I can try to do the same. I've got some fins and goggles. Let me just test to see how bad this current is. I don't think it's actually that bad, it's more just the wind. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna put on fins and goggles too, and then I'll know what the current is also. Okay, roger that.
Okay, appreciate your help.
Sure.
As I was swimming to their boat, a large barracuda started chasing me. They say that barracuda are more aggressive than sharks, or at least more inquisitive. So I keep watching my back. Not sure if you guys are fans of SV Delos, but there was an episode a couple years ago where Brady got bitten by a barracuda, and it was pretty bad. So here we are at the mooring. I'll point a few things out with the footage. Here is where the mooring is anchored to the sea floor. And now you can see what has happened. They ran over the mooring ball line, which is right here in their prop. Now the camera work here may be dizzying, so my apologies. I kept the camera rolling as I was trying to help, so the shots are all over the place. Here you can see the rope clearly wrapped around the prop. I'm trying to pull the rope to unwrap it, but the problem is the weight of the boat along with the current is preventing me from getting any slack in the rope to untangle it.
Hold on. Hold on. But the only issue is that it's so tough against the line. I mean, literally, if I had 2 inches, I could flip it off. You can do that. And then you maybe let it go for a second.
We then decide that he will grab the line, which will hopefully keep the weight off the prop, and then I can have a second or two to grab the slack and untangle the line. And there we go, it's free. We got it untangled. However, now he drops the boat hook. So I'm going to recover it for him and he'll motor back around to pick it up. Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching and see you next time for more adventures in the Exumas.